Hey there, it's Natalie with the Modern Stitchery. Welcome to my corner of the internet where I talk about all things that I create, mostly in the fiber arts, but a little bit of painting. I do a little bit of reading, which it's not really creating, but you know, and some life updates here and there. So anyways, if you're new here, welcome. And if you've been tagging along for the last 9 or so episodes, thanks for coming back. So anyways, today I wanted to talk about my stitchy corner. So in Texas, I had a little bit of a stitchy corner, but I didn't really feel like it was formally a stitchy corner. So now, which is kind of crazy because we downsized, but what increased was the size of my studio. And now I can have a formal stitchy corner. And with that came, I have the same chair I had in Texas, and most everything is the same. The only new purchase is a rolling cart, and I got that from IKEA, and it has a nice little lid, and the Lowry stand I've had for many years. But anyways, I'll show you all of that, and then maybe this episode or maybe some other time when I show more of my office/studio, I have another corner where it's mostly reading and knitting or crocheting, that kind of thing, because it's more loungy. Where this one you'll see it's a little bit more aimed to help with my posture while I'm stitching. So, all right. Oh, and yeah, new shades. No more moving paper. We got new shades for half the house. We still needed to do the other half, but we had to split things up. But anyways, yep, new shades. So it's great. So lots of bright light, but not melting my face off. All right, let me show you the stitchy corner. Okay, so this is one corner of the studio. I'll give more of a detailed tour later. If you'd like one sooner, let me know. But in the meantime, just focusing here on the corner that I have set up. This is my Lowry stand. And then this is a chair that we got at some deal, like where they have, I think someone ordered a chair, they didn't want it. And so it was at a super discounted rate. And what was so funny is I was like, oh, I think it's going to go really well in my studio. And we didn't realize how matchy it was with the rug that I have, but it's kind of funny. And it has a little bit of sparkle to it. I don't know if you can see it. Anyways, so this is my chair. And then this is the new rolling cart I was telling you about. So I'll get a little dive deeper here in a moment. A shift that I had is I had a lot of stitchy related things in this drawer. And so I went ahead and moved a lot of items into the cart to give me more space in here. And I haven't quite figured out this space yet, but I put things in here. And let's see what else. Yeah, just a pillow for my back. I have a book light to give me extra lighting. And yeah, okay, let's break things down. Oh my goodness, I thought I was recording this whole time I was yapping, so take 3. Anyways, I wanted to give a little shout out to my nieces. They were here a couple weeks ago, and one of them brought me this as a gift. We had lots of crafty time. One day I'll show y'all what we made, but it was basically pipe cleaner lit up flowers that were made out of pipe cleaners and lit up with LEDs. And this is from another niece. She made me this many years ago when she was learning how to sew, and she knew I loved outer space and galaxy, so that's where I put my drink. So here's, look where I have the Lowry stand, and this pattern is Butterfly Cloche by Hello by Liz Matthews. I talk more about the details of this on a video or my whip videos. So if you want more details on that, you can look back probably at least one episode. Okay, so on the cart here, I have a shelf. So the main reason I got the cart is I used to have a little table you can kind of see back in this corner, my little mess over here because I haven't finished organizing, unpacking stuff, but it was too low and I had my pattern on there. So I wanted something a bit higher, and of course I wanted a flat surface to be able to put the pattern on. But as you can see, well, the great thing about these carts is that you can put magnets. Because I'm actively stitching on this, I have this out on these magnetic hooks. I got these when my in-laws gifted us with a trip with them to go to Alaska on a cruise. It was my first and so far only cruise. And the walls are magnetic. So she said we should get these hooks, and now I've reused them for, I have them on my desk and on my other things, and now I have them here on the shelf, which is great, or cart, I guess I should say. Okay, so let's dive into, okay, so I have the threads, scissors, and then in here I have the threads that are reusable. It was too hard for me to reattach them here. So if I need like a little, it's threads that are just long enough to do a few stitches, but not short enough to be an ort yet. And then this is my little ort jar, which I usually have put away if I'm not actively using it so the cats don't get into it. But let's get into the first shelf. Okay, so I don't really have a lot in here for now. I have my, oops, sorry for the noise, acrylic threads and other threads in here. I don't have a home for these yet, so for now they live here and they are stitchy related. So I have some readers, different kinds. Definitely need those for my 40 count. And then here I have this cocoa knits, my pattern's in here. I'm not going to open it because the pattern's in here, but I prop this on top of here and have it up to mark it off. And then if I'm using a digital pattern, I could of course just put my iPad on there and do it that way. And then of course a highlighter to mark it off. So that's all I have on the first shelf. So on the second one here, I have my English paper piecing project. So again, I've talked about this in previous episodes on what I'm working on, but I have it all mostly contained in here on the ones that I still need to piece together. I do have my strips. I'll show you really quick. They're, try not to jerk y'all around too much, but you can kind of see them laying over here on my desk. Just there for now while they wait to get all sewn together. Okay, and then in here I have my sashiko project. My active sashiko project is in here. This is the case for the reading light. And then here is where I have a majority of the supplies that I had in the drawer here in the credenza. So here, hopefully you can't hear, we have folks working on our landscaping. But these are most of my thread drops, drop threads. Oh gosh, perimenopause. I forget the name of everything. But anyways, thread holder drop things. I got these from someone on Etsy. At the time she was out of Texas. And I have kind of holiday themed or different kind of themed and random ones. But these are the labels, or I can use a Sharpie marker that I can then wipe off. And here I just have some threaders and a, oh gosh, I'm not going to forget the name of everything. Thread puller thing, an extra one in here. And then these are cheap snag nabbits. I have the actual one in my, like the real branded one, and there is definitely a difference. These are really tough. These were, I believe, gifted to me. And it was really exciting to see like a whole bunch of them at a much more affordable price, but these are really, really rough. So I just saved those for projects that I don't need to use it too much on. I have, of course, you can see some of my needle minders. The types of needles broken out into the cases. So these are for embroidery. I have, it's upside down, but these are cross stitch. I have some of my nice clay needle minders in here. These are what I put the thread drops on. And then another threader. Let's see. And then if I ever feel like using a laying tool, I have another formal like laying tool, but this is one I was trying out attaching to the finger. I never really use it. And then of course a seam ripper. This one's kind of nice because has a nice lid. And then this, it's almost like, you know, folks use the mascara wands. I need to get myself some of those, but this is good too. Although you have to, depending on the thread and how embedded it's in, you kind of have to be a little bit of aggressive with it. So you just need to be careful. But we got that in there. So this is all here for nice quick access. These are the things probably I don't use super often, but just often enough. And in here, another stitchy related is the active project I'm working on. I think they're llamas. So I made a project video making these, so I still need to make 2 more. So I have it here in the box so I can stitch it. I could stitch it here or anywhere, but at least I have the box here in my cart. Oops, put that back. Okay, so now in the third bucket or shelf, this is my project bag. I may have mentioned these before. I made this one. This is the one that holds my current project, the butterfly cloche. So I have that there. This is a Vitoki, I forget the name, but they're out of Ukraine. Beautiful stitching stand, but I have it in its original felt bag. Maybe one day I'll make a nice bag for it. This is another stitching stand. I haven't quite tried it yet. It's 3D printed, but I have all the parts in there. Oh, there it is. There's the brand. Moranix. I don't know if they're still around or not, but wanted to try them out. It was very affordable. And at that time, I bought this when I was in Texas, and I was hosting a little bit of a stitchy, crafty day with all my nieces and nephews, and I needed more stands, but ended up not using it or needing it. Anyway, so that's there for when I'm ready to give it a try. And then I have my other whips in here, cross stitch whips, and a wreath. I think it was a Pearl Soho felt wreath that I was putting together. This is one of the first bags I ever made. It's holding some Halloween projects that I don't think I've started yet, but they're mostly, what's her name? Satsuma Street ornaments. Halloween ornaments are in there. So have that there for whenever I have the urge to pull it together. And then I've talked about this before. These are the swatches that I've made that are or am making on plastic canvas. And this is the box that I'm currently housing them in and putting, upcoming ones that I need to make. I have 3 of these, so hopefully it'll be enough to hold them all. It like fits perfectly. This box was purchased after the fact, actually gifted. My mom brought them over and she's like, could you use these? And I was like, oh my gosh, I think it fits perfect. So they do. I've run into, so this idea came from a maker I found online on Instagram. I could not find her, the original one that came up with this, almost pattern, so to speak, count. But I've ran into a couple more that are doing something very similar. They're making the swatches much bigger. Very tempted to start over, but I'm not. It's actually, for how much I actually stitch, is perfect. So that is the stitching cart. So not a whole lot of stuff right now, but it's nice because it holds multiple types of stitching crafts right now, which I like. So it's whatever I'm in the mood for. And then of course, like I said, I have my Lowry stand, and my English paper piecing here is to cover when I have the frame, but I'd like to make a cover for this too, because cats. Olive, Olive, because she's one of them. Anyways, yeah, so I think that's it. I hope y'all enjoyed the tour of my Stitchy Corner. I get inspired and I love watching other folks that go into how they use their tools, store their tools, things like that. Bridget the Museum Stitcher was the first one that I ran across that used a cart for stitching, primarily stitching. I know there's many out there, but she was the first one. So I'll be sure to tag her below. The first one for me, I should clarify. I'll be sure to tag her below so you can see that. Highly recommend. I will say, ever since I've put together my Stitchy Corner, I've made a lot of progress, as you may have seen, on the butterfly cloche. Every time I come down here, usually I forget what I came down here for. And so I'm like, well, let me put a thread in. So I've made a lot of progress that way. And sometimes I come down here intentionally to put some threads in. But if I know I'm going to go more than 3 or 4 days without stitching, I'll take her out of the hoop and put her in the bag properly and everything. but I'm okay going a day or two, 3 days, leaving her on the hoop if I don't touch her. Um, yeah, so if you have any suggestions or feedback or any other cool ideas on how best to utilize my cart for my stitching corner, I'd love to hear it. I'm hoping maybe getting a lamp back here, so I don't like have to rely on my book lamp, which is actually really bright and really great. And of course, I showed y'all how bright, like this is bright. Um, but I know in the winter it's going to be very different, especially with the shorter days. So I do need proper lighting in here. But right now I don't have to worry about that. So, um, okay, well, I think that's it. If not, I'm just going to keep blabbing. I did make a lot of progress on my current projects, so I'm going to have a whip video here soon. And yeah, I hope all is great. Let me know what's going on with y'all. What are y'all stitching, making? Um, do y'all do a lot of stitching in the summer? Do you make a lot of progress in the summer? I know sometimes folks are really seasonal. Oh gosh, I'm so looking forward to the spooky season. I'll have to show y'all what my sister-in-law got me next time. But oh, it's so cute. Book related. Um, okay. Anyways, I'm blabbing. Okay, y'all take care. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye now.